So Mark Hamill just revealed that there was an alternative ending to The Force Awakens that was changed last minute, a little bit before The Force Awakens came out. So what happened was, he had seen The Force Awakens, and there was a different ending to it, and then when he read the script for The Last Jedi, he kind of was like, oh my. And so he had hinted a while back, about a year ago, that there was a different ending that was changed at the last minute. And so now he finally revealed what it is, and I'm of course going to tell you. Mark Hamill said in an interview that when Rey walked up to Luke Skywalker, we saw Luke Skywalker surrounded by floating boulders to demonstrate his use of the Force as Rey approached him on Ahch-To, whatever that island is. And he says, when we were doing The Force Awakens, Ryan said that we might have boulders floating to show your Force emanating. So I was led to believe that I still had the Force, and it was really strong in me. And of course, this completely contradicts what happens in The Last Jedi, when Rey says that he disconnected himself from the Force, which doesn't make much sense to me. I didn't know you could do that, but I mean, it's also kind of cool, I guess. I don't really know how to feel about that. It's just kind of new. But so Mark Hamill goes on to say, when I read The Last Jedi before The Force Awakens came out, I said, what? And I called JJ and Ryan to say, are you guys aware of this? Have you seen the cut? Is there floating boulders? And they said, no, we caught that and we worked it all out. And so, I mean, that's more or less it, but I think it's kind of cool to think that in the end of it, you know, you would have seen Luke with the floating boulders around him. And when I mean boulders, I don't mean like the small little rocks that he was floating. I would like to see actual, like, huge boulders, like you know, big life size, like you see in SpongeBob, where he's like, it's a rock, you know, those kind of size boulders being floating around by Luke Skywalker, 4 or 5 or even 10 of them. That would have been really cool to show how powerful he truly is, or truly has become. And of course, you do see how powerful he is in The Last Jedi when he's whatchamacallit, he's doing the hologram thing with Kylo Ren and whatnot, even though I think it would have been even more powerful if he was actually there in person, and when all the AT-ATs fired at him, he simply just blocked them with the Force, you know, kind of like Darth Plagueis did to protect Palpatine. Darth Tenebris, Plagueis' master. When they were caught on that planet, there was like like all the rocks fell on them, and Tenebris put like a Force shield up, kind of like you would see with what was it? Starkiller from The Force Awakens. He did that to protect Plagueis and himself. So seeing something like that would have been really cool with the AT-ATs, and just seeing how powerful Luke Skywalker is in general. But still, I mean, I like the ending. I am glad they fixed it, because that would have been another like weird plot hole kind of thing. I'm still not entirely sure how I feel about him being disconnected from the Force in The Last Jedi. It is nice knowing that JJ and Ryan were working together on this kind of stuff, so I wonder what plans of, because obviously this was JJ's plan to have the boulders floating, and then Ryan was like, well, in my script I'm doing this, so we should probably change it, and they came to an agreement on that. So I wonder if JJ had any impact on The Last Jedi, or if Ryan's going to have any impact on Episode 9. So I'm kind of curious about that, and I'm also curious why they didn't just keep Luke as having the boulders floating and him not being disconnected from the Force, and kind of reworking that, because apparently it doesn't really make sense when Snoke's saying that dark rises and that's Kylo Ren, and light to meet it, which is Rey. But I don't think Snoke is disconnected from the Force. So I think if Snoke and Luke were connected to the Force, it would all be relatively balanced, or kind of, you know, trying to match each other. But instead you have the dark, which is going to be more powerful because of Kylo Ren and Snoke, and then you have, you know, Rey trying to match up to meet it. But I don't know, it didn't really make much sense to me. And I don't know how Luke reconnected himself to the Force. I just don't. I don't really know. But that's just me. That's something that we're gonna have to go into with books or further explanations on it. But still, what do you think about the alternative ending where him having boulders floating around him? I kind of like it. It's for me, it's creative and it's different, and it's something that would really show the power that Luke Skywalker had. Because George Lucas has always said he's the most powerful Jedi of all time, but it looks like so far Rey's probably gonna beat that. But you know, live and let die, I guess. Comment your thoughts below. What do you guys think? Would you have liked to have seen this alternative ending, or do you think it would have messed everything up? Star Wars only. I'll see you all next time.